Great morning, everybody. Minutes with Coach right now, Coach and Beyond. Coach Sagasta in the house, and we got Mr. Mike Valor in the house. Young, agile, mobile, hostile cat. This cat is, putting down, and I'm serious, he's dropping it down. Like last night was very exceptional for me to definitely, not just to engage in what he was doing, but man, just to hear the fire in this young man, the passion of what he's putting out. So Mike Valor, definitely welcome you, man, to Minutes with Coach. We have about 45 minutes, man, 30 to 45 minutes every single time. I love to welcome you, man. So please, thank you so much for taking this opportunity to be with me and to engage in some questions, man. So a little bit, can you definitely engage with people exactly who you are? Let everybody know on Periscope, on YouTube, and on Facebook, who is Mike Valor?
Cool, amazing. What's up, guys? Michael Valor here, and a little brief explanation of who that exactly is. It's a character that I got to create, that a person that I became in my life. 21 years old, I'm an entrepreneur. As of right now, I get to live the life of my dreams, literally. And then I'll start off with the good stuff. Usually we start off with the bad stuff and move to the good. Let's start off with the good stuff first. So I get to travel the world. I train for a multi-million-dollar travel company. I get to experience all different cultures, speak on stage in front of millennials, and inspire people to reach for more, to reach for success, to get past the barriers and obstacles in their life. My whole brand stands for Valor, right? And Valor means to overcome. And it's one thing that I found that every single person has in common. And it's hard to find that nowadays because we're so separated, There's a bunch of boundaries, right? Every single person has a different favorite color, a different favorite band, favorite music, favorite ideals, favorite religion, all that stuff, right? All of these things just boom, 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 separation. And it's like we're looking at other humans now, and we're like, I don't even know who you are, We're so different. And the thing is that ties us all together is the fact that we do have obstacles. You know what I mean? There's something in your life right now that you are beating, and that's the beauty of it, And that's what I try to show people is that that's the beauty of it. The struggle is the blessing. That you understand that the obstacles that are placed in front of you are there for you to grow. They're there for you to beat. And when the obstacle becomes that, and you just figure out like habitually you can beat them, they become not obstacles anymore. They're just tasks. They're just things you got to do. You see what I'm saying? So it's not something that blocks you anymore. So 21-year-old entrepreneur built a residual income of $250,000 by the age of 19. An international advertising agency, and I work on a global scale with emerging tech as well. Now, with all that, I am a very, very busy 21-year-old. I'm not your typical one. I'm not going out partying, playing video games, going crazy. I am on the phone with prime ministers. I am doing lives with thousands of millennials, and I am touching lives. So that's what I'm about.
I love it, Mike. I love it, man. I mean, as I said, man, just you 21 years old and my man's already residually making income and doing what other 21-year-olds that are in college are not doing. I'm serious. Looking at this young man's life, and I got to meet him, introduced to him about 2 months ago, almost 2.5 months ago. And I was just blown away by it because, man, just seeing somebody of your age, of your caliber out there, definitely expressing everything that you're learning and everything that you're putting your heart and mind and soul into has definitely, the results are now here, and you're definitely benefiting from that drive that you've put forth. And man, I can't express my happiness for you, man, because there's always happiness when you put so much commitment into something. It just equals that result and that happiness. And I see it in everything that you're doing. And even with your manager, Christian, man, just getting to know him and hearing from him on the other line. I was just waiting for him to jump through the dang phone, man, because he just has so much excitement, so much energy. And that's truly what's needed, man, in everything that you're doing. And I see it in your life, and I see it in what you're doing. Let everybody know exactly where they can find you, please.
Cool. My mainstay right now is Michael Valor on Facebook. There's a fan page that you should go ahead and follow. We're having that built up right now. But my personal account is open. So we have you can go up to 5,000 friends. I've got 1,700 right now because I have an algorithm that goes through and makes sure that we only have the active people on there. So Michael Valor on Facebook, VALOR, and on Instagram, ambition.empire. At ambition.empire is our Instagram account. That's where you're going to find most of the content. We also also have a YouTube channel, Michael Valor YouTube channel, and if you go check that out, you will see every single live I've ever done, all of our mastered content, and everything in between.
And I've seen the YouTube channel, and that's Mike Valor. And, you know, I could definitely tell you and share with you the wonderful content, but also the mastery of work that goes into each video, because it's not just any normal video. And that's one thing that I've always admired is people that put in so much effort and that drive into making the videos, because they do, man. I mean, you think about it, your video, when you put it on YouTube, your video, when you put it on anything else, man, that is what makes you. It's your brand. And if it's sloppy, if it's dingy, if it's dirty work, the man, it's going to speak loud for who you are. I mean, when you're doing live is much different than doing an actual sit down. I mean, when I look at Dr. Eric Thomas and Grant Cardone and many others, there's so much work and effort that goes into it, man. And I love that, man. I appreciate that. All right, Mike, so let's get into this, man. Your business, what's your business name?
Cool. So the basic mother company of all of the businesses that I do create is Valor Corp. So Valor Corp is like the main entity, and throughout the businesses that I have done and worked in, my advertising business being like my baby. That's my bread and butter. That's the one that brings in that residual income. That's the one that I built up since I was 18 years old. And it's a really crazy story how I got involved in it, actually. So I was involved with sales, okay, and I was having a meeting. I was at a coffee shop, I was talking to my friends. I was being super passionate, right? And I'm sharing a ton of enthusiasm at a coffee shop, which I shouldn't be. And usually my loudness, volume, right, gets me in trouble. But this time it got me something good, okay? And this is like one of the first times it did. And this lady turns around, she's like, "Hey, like I hear you're like really passionate. What do you do?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm only 17 years old, you know what I'm saying? Like, not really much at all. You know what I mean? Not really much at all." And she was like, "Have you ever thought about a career in sales?" It turns out that she was the head of our local newspaper, hearing me talk to one of my friends, and she hired me on as an advertising sales rep.
Wow.
So I got 50% commission, and my eyes went crazy. I was like, 50% commission, okay, next question. How much is an ask? You know what I'm saying? And it was like $5,000 to $7,000. And I'm like, boom, my mind is blown, okay? Like, I'm 17, never seen that kind of money out here. Static over here, you know what I mean? Like, I'm on it. I'm like, okay, I want to do so one of these a week, one of these a month, and I'm happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I go, and I'm trying to sell. I'm wearing my dad's suits, and I'm walking into these. My dad's a big Italian guy, too, so it's like these heavy-ass, like, suits. Like, I am in it, okay? I'm in it. I can fit 3 or 4 of me in these suits, okay? And I'm walking into Domino's Pizza, okay? I'm walking into Domino's Pizza almost every single day. Now, I didn't have a car at the time, so I had to walk to every single storefront to ask them if they wanted to buy advertising. Walk in, "Hey, how's it going? My name's Mike Valor, and I'm if I can see your advertising marketing manager." And I've got that down. Like, you can probably tell, I've done it 150,000 times. So I kept walking in, and I'm bragging to all my friends, because I got a big boy job now. You know what I mean? Like, I got a big boy job. I work at a newspaper. Where are you? You're busting tables. You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's crazy because it was a commission job, and I didn't sell anything for 6 months. So 50% sounds really good, but 50% of zero is zero. You know what I mean?
That's
it's
right.
just $0. So, I mean, I was out there. I was grinding, you know, I'm hitting the pavement. I wanted to make a sale. I wanted to get better, but I wasn't learning about how to at all. And one of my teachers actually saw me struggling with this, and he walks over to me, and I'm wearing my suit to school, okay, because I'm a businessman now. You know, I'm a head honcho of school, making $0. And he walks over to me and he hands me a book in front of the whole class. And I'm the class clown at the time, so I'm like, you know, like, get this off my desk. I was like, "Is this a grade?" That's my first question. Is this a grade? I was like, "I don't even read things for grades. You think I'm going to read this book just because?" I was like, I will never forget, actually, the sentence I said back to him, like the exact sentence. I said, "I don't do reading." And that's just the level of consciousness that I was at the time, you know, the level of ignorance. Well, I don't even call it consciousness. The level of ignorance that I was at the time. I said, "I don't do reading." And he said this in front of everybody. And you challenging me is a totally different thing. Like, I have this like competitive bug in my head, and a lot of entrepreneurs do. And it's like, you just don't tell me I can't do anything. And he looks at me and he says, "What if 140 pages is what's standing between you and a 6-figure income?" And it blew my mind. I've never heard any other speaker say it except him right there. And he hands me this book, and I read the book, and I read it in 2 weeks because I was got promoted to advertising marketing manager. They fired a 45-year-old. I was 18 years old, and I was running the new office of the newspaper at that point in time. And it got to a point where I was talking to all these business owners, and I'm selling packages left and right now, okay? I'm even training kids from my high school on how to sell packages and making a percentage on them. I tell them they get 30%. Their eyes get all big and googly, you know, and I take 20% off the top for training them on how to sell these ads. So I've got an empire going over here, and I go sit down with my mentor, and I'm like, look, I'm going to quit. And he was like, what? You're going to quit? What are you talking about? You're going to quit? I was like, yeah, I'm going to quit. And he was like, Mike, this is unreasonable. You're 18 years old. You're making good money. This is twice as much as anyone in your family makes. You've got to just lock this down and stick with it.
I love it, man.
Don't quit.
Yes, yes. You, Mike Valor represents the thoughts that people refuse. And I love that, man. I absolutely love that. And for your teacher to come out like that and say something like that, man, that's extraordinary. Because I am too. I've never heard that before, man. And like for you, being that young, like it was never a push or a drive enforced from the educator to definitely, just to encourage me like that, because I was never a reader until I made my promise in 2015. And today I'm at 55 books in a year. And so I'm looking to push that next year to 65. But I mean, listening to what you're saying, like you're absolutely right. Your teacher was absolutely right. What stands before you? What if 140 pages stands before you? And success is so true, because so many people are lacking that ability. So many people, I went to the DMV with my son yesterday, man, and he was getting his permit. And, we were sitting there. I was sitting there. He was over there taking his test. And as I had my book in my hand, I just finished it. And that was my 55th book. As I was finishing it, I looked around and everybody's like engaged in their telephone. I'm not saying that anybody can't read on a phone, because I have two books on my phone. But I mean, for the most part, everybody's engaged in like games or they're watching something on Facebook or YouTube, or they're watching the TV that's on. I'm just like, wow, like nobody reads today, man. There might be a few people that are listening to audio, but for the most part, the libraries are empty when I go in there, man. If anybody's on anything, they're on the computers. So I'm just like, I'm literally, man, it's bombarding, man, with why this is happening. And I believe, and I'm what you said last night kind of backed it up. But Mike Valor mentioned the efforts of helping our generation, our young generation, and he called it millennials, because that's what they are, as the millennials, like my son and like Mike Valor, is pushing more education, pushing more efforts that the educator continue to abide by those rules and regulations of pushing more structural education, not so much the testing, because the testing is out the door, man. Everybody's got to come to the realization that, you know what, you go to corporate America, they're not looking for testers. They're not looking for testers. They're looking for people that can read, write, and spell. That's all there is to it, man. And if you got problem solving skills, am I right?
Right.
So let's get into some questions, brother. Let's get into some questions, man. All right. So question number one, man. Where do you see yourself for 2017?
2017, amazing, awesome. So a couple things. Like I said, I delved into part of the World Future Society, which is like one of the top 1,300 researchers on the globe. Like, these are the smartest smart guys. And it's all about surrounding yourself with more intelligent people than you. And it's crazy because, like, I'm in school and I'm getting failing grades on an algebra 1 test. You know what I mean? But I can talk to someone from the World Future Society and learn and have a dynamic conversation with them about matter transfer, artificial intelligence, or computer chips. And it's crazy because, like, I'm not a scientist. I always say this. I'm not a scientist, but I'm a science enthusiast. I just get so amped up about what science can do for the world and what innovation has done already. And I think that's somewhere we really put a lot of our eggs in that basket as a society. So I work with that on a big, like, global scale. And right now we're trying to put some, like, we got new, and this is kind of like dropping news right now, honestly, but we've actually got a new energy concept that we were discussing on implementation with a few countries: Germany, Mexico, India, and Sweden. So I've already been on the phone with some of these guys, energy ministers. So that's one of the main things for Valor Corp, is what they're trying to do is kind of like change an energy concept. So we're running out of energy in the world. So that's number one. And then number two, on a smaller scale, where my passion lies, what I do in my free time, it's impact as many people as possible. So in 2017, you're going to see me on stage. I mean, just destroying old paradigms, breaking the old system, and building people up brand new. Okay, my program lives change. It's a guarantee. It's not a chance. It's not a maybe. It's a guarantee. It's the law of eventual certainty. And I love this because it blows people's mind. And it's actually innate in all human beings. Like, we all know this, right? If you ride a bike, all right, you rode a bike and you fall off the first time, okay? You get back up and you ride again. You get a little bit further and a little bit further. Then you take the training wheels off. You're really getting. And then eventually you get so comfortable, so good at riding this bike, you take your hands off the bars. You were just riding that thing left and right. You are going all over the place. You've got a new mode of transportation, right? And the thing is, the more you do anything, the better you get at it. That's a guarantee. You're a human being. If you're listening to this, you're a human being, guaranteed. Okay, that's another guarantee. And then after that, after the fact you're human, guess what? Humans get better at whatever they do over and over and over again. So I figured, okay, I've got to pick my dream, whatever it is, whatever lights me up, whatever lights my soul on fire, so people come watch, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is. People want to watch things on fire. People flock to energy, period. People want more energy in their life because energy gets actions done. Energy is the currency of action. Energy is the currency of success, really. The more energy you put in, the more success you get back out.
That's right.
In 2017, hopefully you are seeing me on stage. I'm talking building up the millennial generation, releasing a program that changes lives, and impacting as many people as I can. Because this is the one thing I'll say, and I'll let you ask the next question, but the millennial generation is so huge. I mean, it's vast. Okay, like the network marketing profession, okay, is just one industry of business, and 70% of those are millennials. 70% of that industry is millennials. And it's like there is no millennial who's out there and really like encompassing all of the knowledge from all of the greats. You know what I mean? You have Eric Thomas, you have Grant Cardone, you have Gary Vee, you have Bob Proctor, right? And where's the guy who took all that information and put it into one thing? Because I get it. They're champions of a cause. You know what I mean? They're champions of a type of mentality. But I want someone who can be like, guys, I'm right where you are, and I'm looking at their stuff, and I'm integrating and making it simple so that we can understand it for the millennials. And I just saw nobody taking those reins. So in 2017, hopefully you see a new millennial top-tier speaker.
Well, it's from listening to your elocutionary attitude and what you have and what you're bringing in your speaking game right now. What I see right now for you, my friend, is straight leadership. Automatically across the board, like, I really see that in you, Mike, and I'm really intrigued on it because for a millennial to have strong leadership in what you're doing, and you're saying you're learning from the greats, man, that's the wisest thing I could ever recommend to anybody. And I'm always engaging with people across the world is to definitely catch up on the literature from the greats, because the new cats, yeah, they learned, but I wanted to know from the root. I wanted to go back, and so I did that, man. I spent 7 years doing it and 17 years in just biblical history, but I mean, I wanted to know the facts. I wanted to get the real root and nitty gritty of everything. You feel me? So I mean, I hear that from your tone, man, and I love that because it just says leadership, man. And I can't wait. I cannot wait for 2017 to see you on stage with some of the greats. All right, man. So let's get into the next question, man. Who was your life role model growing up in life?
Oh, wow, that's a huge question. My biggest role model, okay, and this is weird, okay, so bear with me, it's a little odd. It's not your typical role model for people, especially at a young age. And it might sound odd, but I always got this story told to me when I was a little kid, okay? So I was a little kid, and I just kept hearing about this story. And there was actually one of my friends who lived down the street. Their dad was like all about history, okay? And he always used to tell his kid about the story of Alexander the Great. And how Alexander the Great, every single day, every single moment, from when he was 20 years old on, ruled an empire. 20 years old, Alexander the Great was ruling an empire and literally going from city to city to city. And every single battle that there ever was, I mean, battling was a norm at the time, okay? So I'm not suggesting we go out there and war and be in the front of the war every time. But what I'm saying is Alexander the Great at that time was at the front of every battle. Imagine being a soldier in his army and seeing him, no matter what, in the front every single time. Imagine your third row, fourth row, fifth row of his army, okay, 100th row. That's how big these legions were. And you see this guy, this like majestic figure, okay, riding at fear, full force, like yelling about this, okay. 72 cities, I'm pretty sure it was. He goes in and conquers. He names them Alexandria. And at the end of his days, he's laying in bed, and they asked him, like, what do you feel about this? You know what I mean? Like, how'd your life go? And to put it in short terms, I hope I'm not doing him any injustice, but he said, I just couldn't conquer the whole thing. I just couldn't conquer the whole thing, no matter how much time he put in, no matter how far he went. It was just an ongoing adventure. But at the same time, he ended out with that he was in love with the process. That he was in love with the process. That it wasn't about conquering the whole thing, but just the love of conquering, just the love of, because all the cities, they prospered after he took over. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
Alexander had prospered, and he moved on to the next one. So that was one of my biggest heroes, I guess, in the day, of seeing somebody who just every single battle, never stopped, never skipped one, okay, was always in the front. And I thought that was so huge.
You know what? Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. And for Alexander being your role model like that, man, that's very exceptional, because I don't meet too many young people that have somebody, and I actually have 2 of his books in my library. But I mean, that's exceptional, man. Because I mean, for me, it was Marcus Aurelius. Like, Marcus Aurelius was one of the greatest leaders and impactors of our generations of greats when it came to leadership. But I love that, man. That's excellent. All right, man. So let me ask you, where do you see yourself in, or where do you see yourself? Okay, so back in let's see, you were 17 years old, you were working in the paper. So 5 years, where do you see yourself from today? 5 years, just 5 years.
Okay, it's a massive question, all right? And we're going to shake some people up with this, all right? So I don't talk about it too much because it is so vast. And you see the memes on Instagram that says, make your dream so big that it makes people uncomfortable to even hear about it. And where I'm at with this, okay, and this is going to sound nuts, so I'm going to give you an explanation as why it's reasonable afterwards, okay, because I've mastered this to myself. The belief is in me, and I do believe that this is possible. Here's the deal. All the countries are so separate. Okay? Science limited, okay? No one's funneling money into research and development like they should be. No one is playing common sense rules. We're all following these bureaucratic, crazy systems. Tax codes are over 9,000 pages. It's just ridiculous. And I understand. I'm a kid, and it's nuts to hear him say that. It's like, oh, it's a kid who doesn't understand the markets and all this kind of thing. And here's my deal. Why are we making it so complicated? Why are we making it so hard to have advancements in innovation? Why is it marketability that we can't find a cure for cancer? You see what I'm saying? Why is it that we can't progress with plasma for new space travel? I'm serious. Like, that's the next step, and it shouldn't make us feel uncomfortable. It should make us feel that level of discovery, because the last time that we felt that level of discovery as an entire race was the Industrial Revolution, when all these new things came out. Automobiles were coming out. People were like, we could travel anywhere, and the possibilities opened up, and we're ready for that. We're ready for that right now as a race. We're actually ready for that next technological revolution, where the greatest minds will be the currency, and it won't be just resources anymore. It'll be who has the smartest people working on the most things the most efficient way. So my objective in the next 5 years is to revolutionize the energy industry with brand new concepts, produce energy in a clean, environmentally friendly, and consistent way. That's number one. And with all of that revenue, because it's a lot, okay? And I don't want to go crazy here, but it is a lot. Every kilowatt sold, there's a percentage that goes back to a board, okay? And of that board, and this is what I discussed with some of the energy ministers, of that board, the board funnels money into projects that are going to save the world. Cures for diseases, research and development centers. There's people out there that are ready to bring the future to the earth right now, okay? Literally, like, they've got the ideas, they've got the mentality, they don't have the money, or they don't have the resources, they don't have the marketability. And it might be because they're from a different country, they can't interact with U.S. Scientists, there's just a bunch of laws involved, and I want to take that all out of the game, and I want to put human progress as the number one. So, in 5 years, where I'd like to be is I'd like to be a part of some sort of it would be like a governmental republic between the countries, between all of the nations, and operate as a mastermind between them in true harmony. So, and it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy, but it's like the human race, the human race. We are all human, you know what I mean? And the separations, I'm telling you, those are so big, these separations, and it's literally killing people right now. It's literally killing people just because of differences. And it just blows my mind when I look at it. And it might be because I wasn't touched too much by the public education system, where I was kind of put into this box. I just thought about life as, I never did any work in school. So it's just I learned for myself through experience, through books, through knowledge, through mentors. And I just kept looking at the world, and I was like, why is it like that? And it's a big, be like part of the world government. You know what I'm saying? But it's reasonable. You know, somebody's got to do it, and the only person who's going to take that seat is the person who spends 24 hours better than me. So if I spend my 24 hours as much as I can, put it towards the development of my understanding, always be willing to grow, always being humble, always being a man of the people, right? And it's a guarantee. You know, eventually they're going to put me there because I'll be the best one for the position. And if I'm not, I'll make sure whoever is the best for the position, I'll suit them well. You know what I mean? I just want to be a part of true global change in the next 5 years.
I love that, man. I absolutely love that. Global change with innovation. And you know what? I asked you because you said something that just really gravitated towards my thinking and what I was being meek. I mean, here you are, 21 years old. You could be out gallivanting and doing things of a horrible habit in nature, but instead you're just grounded, man. And I love that, man, and that's so affirmative to your role model or that mentor that you took upon, especially Mark or Alexander the Great was so grounded in being a great and phenomenal leader. Man, I like that. So, all right, man, let's get into our question here. We got here. What are 3 key traits in having a successful business for you?
Perfect. Okay. I think that I like to. Information comes in clusters, so I like to take knowledge and kind of like compress it down into very, very simple things, okay? Because it's like, throughout my time in school, I was wondering why they were teaching things so complicated. I was like, why are you teaching so complicated? Let's teach it simply. People will understand it simply. Albert Einstein said that the best form of knowledge is simplification. Like, when something is simple, that's when true knowledge gets expressed.
Correct.
So, for me, what success is belief, okay? Number one, belief. Belief in yourself, belief in your product, okay? Belief and understanding in that, okay? That you know that no matter what, eventually you'll be successful. If you do it enough, you'll get good at it. You just got to hold on for dear life. And if you hit it with that fire every single day, that belief, it's a guarantee. Next is desire, okay? And desire is basically this. If me and you are hanging out, we're sitting there watching the game, right? And you're like, let's go get something to eat, okay? You want to get something to eat, but it's not like tremendous. You're not starving or anything. So we go to open the door's open. You know what I mean? It's not that crucial to get out. You know, we might go sit back down even. We might be like, forget it. It's fine, no big deal. We've all done that before. But if the room was on fire, okay, and the room's on fire, we got to get out of there. Me and you would be going like beast mode on the door. You know what I mean? Like we're like trying to get out of this thing.
Right.
And that's desire. That's desire. It's that we wanted to get out. You know, if you were trapped in a cage with a lion, you'd want to get out. You'd want to get out of that cage immediately, as fast as possible. And that desire would make your actions that much more powerful. So if you believe you can get out and you desire to get out, the last thing is focus. And it's about focusing on that one point to get out of that door, or that one point to make that goal happen. So everything comes with that organization and focus. So it's belief, desire, focus. Believe it can happen. Believe it will happen. Have a level of expectation. Then desire it like crazy. I'm talking about obsession to the max. It's got to be the thing you're thinking about all the time, the thing you want, the thing you cry for, the thing that drives you. You wake up in the day, and no matter how you're feeling, you want to hop on that phone and close the deal. You know what I mean? That level of motivation, that level of inspiration on the inside. And then the last thing is focus, 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 focus. Because what happens is, a lot of times, these success speakers, what they'll give them is they give them the emotion, they give them the feeling, right? And I even fall prone to this a lot of times, where it's like I give them the belief in themselves, they get a ton of desire, but no focus. What's the mechanics? What are the next steps I got to take? So that focus is absolutely crucial, because what will happen is you're going to get yourself super worked up in activity, and you're going to, I call it short-circuiting yourself, where you're just so amped, and you're like expecting these amazing, like crazy, life-changing results tomorrow, but you don't do anything about it. And then you get frustrated, and you deem success as a frustrating thing. And then in your subconscious mind, from then on, you'll always think, when everything is success, it's frustrating, it doesn't work, it doesn't matter how amped I get. And then you'll even associate that amp, that motivation feeling that you do need, with the failure that you're feeling right now. And that's the worst thing that can happen. So belief, desire, focus is my number 3 thing.
I love it, man. All right, so we get into our question. Question number 5. Question number 5 is, what is your why?
Amazing. That's really, truly amazing question. My why. Why I do things. You wake up, your eyes are open, and work with me here. Okay, well, everybody listening, you wake up, your eyes are open, and I really want you to grab this for a second because you haven't yet. I don't think you have. There's walls around you. Go touch them, okay? There's floors, feel it. You got air in your lungs, okay? You see what I'm saying? There's thoughts in your head. And I know this sounds really weird at first, but here's the deal. You are experiencing creation. That makes sense? Like God made all this thing. You know what I mean? He made this to wonder at it and be amazed. You know that, like, we're made of cells, and cells are made of molecules, and molecules are made of electrons, and electrons move so freaking fast that nobody can even pinpoint where they are at any given point in time, except when they're observed by a human being. Like, we live in a magical, magical world. You know, flamingos are pink birds that stand on one leg. Like, that's incredible. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's literally that amazing. You know, we're in a solar system that seems so vast, right? But you're in a solar system that's in a galaxy that has approximately, from last time I checked with NASA, 100 billion planetary systems. 100 billion. And that's just one galaxy. Imagine if there was even a million solar systems. That's a lot by itself. I'm talking about 100 billion. It's an unfathomable number, you know? And the fact is that humans, and I like to look at them as eternal beings while they're existing. And why I say that is because you'll always have that next desire. And people can look at that in a positive way, or you can look at it in a negative way. You're always going to have that next desire. You're always going to want something else. You're always going to be less than content. You're always going to be like, I want this, now I want this, now I want this. Now I can build this, now I desire this. You know what I'm saying? And it will keep growing. That creativity will keep flowing. And as long as you understand that anyone can overcome anything, that you can accomplish anything you think in your mind, then boom, game over. You're now living the most fulfilled life ever. You're going to wake up every day, create something new, love it, enjoy it, share it with other people, change some lives, and wake up and want something else tomorrow. And that's the beauty of it. You don't want just one thing. You're going to want the next thing. And once you accomplish it, you're going to want the next thing. Because humans aren't supposed to be stagnant. Stagnation kills, you know? Inaction breeds fear, right? And we've heard these things before. But it's about every single day wanting the next thing, wanting to progress. Look, if it's possible, why not do it? You see what I'm saying? Either way, you're going to spend those heartbeats. Either way, those heartbeats. And it's crazy. This blows my mind, actually, that heartbeats, you can't even hear them. You can't even hear them, right? Because, like, every day you're walking around. But the thing is, they're so loud inside your body that you should actually be able to hear them. Your eardrum picks up on them. The fact is that it's become so accustomed to how you live. As soon as you were born, heartbeats start happening, right? I mean, obviously. You just became so used to your own heartbeat that it just blends into the environment and you don't hear it anymore. But I'm telling you, if people started hearing their heartbeat, if they started feeling how many times that thing pumps and how many pumps they have left, the entire world changes. So my why is that I went from a place of hopelessness, that I thought change was impossible. I thought that I couldn't accomplish anything, and I thought that smarts and riches were just given to you at birth, and if you didn't get them, you didn't get them, and that's too bad. Out of luck. We need workers. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
And when I realized that that's not the case anymore, it changed everything. I was like, I've got to tell everyone about this. So that's my why.
I love it. I love it. So sharing, baby, sharing. I love it. All right. All right, man. So, all right. So now, as New Year's is only 48 hours away, man. I've interviewed a few people, man, and there's more today. But I got to ask you, what is your New Year's motto? Is it creed, resolution, or a promise?
Oh, it's a promise. Oh, it's a promise. It's a promise to everybody.
I love it.
And you'll get that promise just by looking me in the eye.
Yeah, yeah.
Promise for the new year. The promise for the new year, for me, is just to rock it 10 times. There's one thing I say, and I love affirmations. Affirmations are a big thing. Constantly affirming positive thoughts into your head. You talk to any of the greats, they'll tell you that. You can't be telling yourself a bunch of bad things about yourself all the time and get good results. You can't put garbage in and get great stuff out. It's not going to happen. So affirmations are huge. Every day I say, today is my best day yet. Today I am the best version of myself. Because guess what? That right there, that statement sounds pretty simple, but it's actually like something suits, not just affirmative, but it's continual. You know what I mean? It's every day you get better. So no matter how good you were yesterday, you're the best version today. So even if it's a little increase, as long as I'm taking one step forward, even if it's a stumble, I'm improving. So that's 2017. It's just an improvement on 2016. I
love that, man. That's cool. I'm serious. That's a golden one, man. I like that. Definitely. All right, man. So we leave off with question number 7, man, and we got to wrap it up. What is your mission statement? And it's a 2-part question. What is your mission statement and why?
Cool. So my mission statement, and this is like the tagline of it all. Valor means to overcome. And to give you an entire idea of that, it's the reason why I embodied that name and the reason why I took that name on. So a lot of people don't know that story, but there's the whole story as to why that's my name, why that's what I rock with, and why that's what I want my kids to look at. And why I want to be an example of it is because everybody, we talked about this at the beginning, everybody has obstacles that they need to overcome in their life. Everybody. And it blew my mind. Like, when you really understand that, it's like, everybody? You're telling me everybody has obstacles? Not one person you see is just obstacle free. And if they think they are, they're in a bigger obstacle than you are. You know what I'm saying? If they think they don't have problems, they are in a bigger problem than you because they just do not have any awareness over it at all. So what I understood was, if everybody has obstacles, we got to figure out a way to show them that anyone, and this is the most powerful thing, here's the tagline right here, anyone can overcome anything. Anyone can overcome anything. So whatever it is that's holding you back, anyone can overcome anything. And I thought that was so huge. It's all encompassing, and I want to make sure that people get that ingrained in their brain, seriously. Because when I realized that, it was game over. It was now no longer, how can I do this? It was, what do I want to do?
Yeah, you know what, man? You just brought up an excellent point, man. You know, overcome. A lot of people, it's hard for them to overcome, man. And I think, I looked at a statistic. It was last year. I looked at a statistic in America, and it was 87 to 93% of people in America were lacking confidence. And so in order to overcome whatever procrastination, whatever desultory that they're having, or hobgoblin that they're having, then you definitely have to have courage. You got to have that confidence and self-confidence. And we're lacking that, man. We're absolutely lacking it. So I mean, listening to what you're describing earlier, man, in that leadership role that you have, and that initiative that you have, man, you're gonna bring something. So you're gonna bring some fire to a lot of schools. Now, are you speaking at schools, or where are you at right now as far as your stage? This was not one of the questions, but I have to ask you personally, where are you at as far as speaking engagements? Are you speaking at schools and universities? Are you bringing your mission statement to them?
Cool. We have not hit schools yet. I actually went back to my high school, and we're waiting to talk to them relatively soon. They reach out to us, so we'll see what happens with that. But I'm pretty sure I'm speaking in Sydney, Australia, co-headlining with Arnold Schwarzenegger, with Glenn Twiddle. I'm locking that down right now, so that's up in the air, but we might be able to get that, Sydney, Australia, which will be amazing. That'll be absolutely amazing. And then my main speaking engagements are in front of the company that I train for, Watabi, the Adventure Travel Club. There's 1,000 millennials right there that I speak in front of consistently. I mean, probably on a weekly basis, but then every now and then they fly me out to different countries and stuff like that to speak with them there. But podcast, man, that's what we've been starting off with. The more that if you've heard this and you've got any connections to this message on stage, I would be more than blessed, more than humbled, and more than loyal and devoted for anything that we could get to move this message on stage. Because I love it, man. I'm telling you, I don't know if you can tell, like, I get hyped when I talk about the stage. Like, I just mental chemistry with an audience. It's seriously what inspires me most.
I love that, man. I definitely, I can sincerely sense it from, like I said, I can sense it and feel the vibration from the way you speak, of your emotion, your passion behind it, man. And that's moving, because like I said, you don't meet too many people of your age that are doing it, man. And I totally respect that wholeheartedly, and I honor the value and what you bring to the table, man. And I can only look forward to my kids being able to look up to you and everything that you're creating here in the future, man. Because I mean, I'm always looking for great and phenomenal leaders in the world, man. Because those are the cats that you definitely want to hang around. Those are the cats that you want to definitely show your kids, like, hey, these cats were doing it at 17 years old, and now look at him. I explained it to my son the other day when I was driving him. We were going somewhere, man, and I was expressing to him, like, Mike Valor's gonna be on, and you gotta see, like, this young man. And I showed him the video that you put out, and you all can see it on YouTube. It's Mike Valor, and I just put down the link right there for anybody on YouTube or on Facebook. You can see him at Valor Corp, and that's on Twitter, and follow him there also. But like, he's just engaging from the age of 16. There was a burning desire, and at 17, the desire took another step, and he's been just going every single step a bit harder, a bit more on fire, and a bit more with humble and meekness, and that's why he's seeing all the great blessings. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you, Mike, for being on, man, and my blessings to you and everything that you're doing in your endeavor, man.
Thank you so much. Love it, love it, love it. Hopefully we impacted some lives. Even if it's one person who gets this, it changes the whole world. That's what's so beautiful. Thank you so much for having me on. Seriously.
Oh, brother, man, you have a good day, and I will most definitely hook you up with that other cat, that other individual, and we'll go from there, man. I appreciate you being on. Many blessings to you and everything that you're doing.
Keep it gold, my man. Talk to you soon. Thank you again.
Bye. So there you had Mike Valor on today, Minutes with Coach. Thank you guys so much for being on. I appreciate it. Have a great and beautiful day. And always, man, always make every single day a masterpiece. I'm out of here.